Hey guys, and welcome back to another Axel 72 video. And today it's a pleasure to be joined by Ash Lane. Ash, we spoke a little while ago now, and a lot has changed since then. How are we feeling?
Very, I'm very good. I couldn't be better, really, to be honest. Life's been pretty amazing recently.
Of course, no, I mean, it's been amazing to see this development as well. And we spoke before the Jordan Perkis fight, and a lot has changed since then. And I suppose the first question would be, how's Ash Lane been coping with this new change?
I'll be honest, struggling. You know, um, it's been absolutely non-stop since the fight. I'm trying to keep myself grounded. It's hard. My head's in the clouds now. I've got non-stop messages every single day. Congratulating me on the fight, which is nice. I appreciate it. And I've got interviews, two or three a day at the moment, every day. I'm constantly going out and meeting people at clubs and gyms and, to show the belts. And it's just been non-stop. It's been hectic. So I'm looking forward to hopefully having a little bit of time off at the weekend.
Okay, no, that's very important to hear, and you know, it's all good, having this success and everything, but you also got to make sure that the whole process isn't burning you out.
That's it. My missus, she's very good at grounding me. So she keeps my head on my shoulders because I can get carried away quite easily. She's very good at keeping me grounded, keep my head on my shoulders, and uh, keeping me sensible.
Mhm. That's good to hear, and I suppose you've become British champion, and I suppose to the level of what you've been saying there and how many people want to speak to you and everything like that. Do you kind of understand now when you hear fighters, they sometimes when they become a world champion, they go off to the rails a little bit and things get a bit too much? Can you, understand that now?
Yeah, I can. I mean, I knew winning the British title would be big, but I didn't realize just how big it was, and I probably still don't realize just how big it is. But people in like Ricky Hatton and Tyson Fury or Joe Kawasaki's place. I mean, it must have just been unmanageable, Um, at least for me, it's manageable. I mean, I literally spent 2 days just non-stop going through messages, trying to reply to people, and for every 10 or 15 I replied to, 10 minutes later, I had another 30. It was just, but look, I mean, I've managed to get through a lot of people now. Um, and I can definitely see how people go off the rails, when they hit the big time, 100%. But like I say, my girl, she's very good at keeping me grounded, and so grounded where I'm gonna stay.
It's amazing to hear, and I suppose now to actually touch upon, I suppose both the last two fights, you came in to the away corner, and it was, I suppose to an extent, a surprise to see you get the win, but to also get two stoppages in the process is, it's very very impressive. And I suppose going back to the Jordan Perkis fight, what was the overall, I suppose, reaction after that fight?
Bit of a reaction, like I mean, like I had people congratulate me, but it wasn't as full on as this. This is just on another level, which it should be, as a British title. But and I mean, it was on live TV. It wasn't there, whereas the other one wasn't. But I did get people congratulate me. I got some congratulations and recognition. But it's just on another level. This.
And I suppose opponent-wise and the way you've been boxing as of recent, when you go back to the earlier part of your career, do you feel like you have come such a long way as a fighter?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I looked at myself at the start of my career, and I was pretty poor at times. I was an average boxer. I wasn't really that good. I think I thought I was better than what I was. I mean, I had guts and heart and grit, balls, but skill wise wasn't very good. So it's only really been this last 18 months that I've really developed skillfully or boxing wise. I mean, I think my skill and my boxing is underrated. Um, and my punch power has increased dramatically this last 18 months due to various things. But yeah, the start of my career, I don't feel I was really that good, to be honest. So I'm happy that I've improved.
Would you say that you have found this style which is perfect for you?
Yeah, I think that I mean, I've been at different clubs throughout my boxing career, amateur and pro, and I think I've gone through stages when I was with the Chris Sanigas stable, where they tried to get me boxing a bit more, boxing and moving, picking, scoring shots, moving. And that wasn't really, I mean, I could do it, but it wasn't really my style. And you could see that against Brad Foster, I mean, to be fair, Brad Foster, I was too small for him. I shouldn't have been boxing at that weight. But to box and move against, the top lads, it's not really my style. I'm better in your face, hands up, gritting and grinding, dogfighting. And you can see that in the last two fights. I mean, against Perkins, I showed a bit of that, but it wasn't my best performance. Still, although it was a great win and a good statement to make, it wasn't my best performance. Whereas against Chris Borg, it was a much better performance. I was a bit fast on my feet. I worked with the game plan. We knew the first couple of rounds would be hard and tough, but like we stuck tactically to what we wanted to do, and it worked. I think that was a much better performance.
No, it's something I totally agree with. But I suppose if to ask a question, which of course you don't have to answer, but who would you, I suppose, say out of Jordan and Chris maybe gave you the tougher fight?
Um, Jordan.
Mm.
Um, and I think that's probably due to styles a little bit, but I think it's also due to me not performing as good. I mean, I was quite surprised with I mean, neither of them really punched that hard. I was quite surprised with Chris Brook. I thought when he hit me, I thought it was going to hurt a lot more, but it didn't really hurt too much, and it felt caught quite a lot on the gloves. Um, but um, I was never struggling against Chris Borg, and to be fair, I never really felt like I was struggling against Jordan Perkins. But Perkins definitely gave me the harder fight, just because, you know, when the going got tough and I was turning it into a dogfight, Chris Borg tried to pop and move. Whereas Jordan Perkins actually stood there and tried to push me back and have a fight with me. So I gotta give full credit to Perkins. He tried to give it some. Massive respect for that.
Mhm. And I suppose for both of them as fighters, obviously you've come from losses in the past and you've now got to this amazing point in your career. And what advice would you give to them as, as being quite a shock, I suppose, to the system it would have been for them?
Well, I mean, Jordan Perkins has retired, I believe. So I mean,
Mm.
I don't really know what to say to him apart from like I think he had a lot to give the sport.
Mm.
Especially down at Super Flyweight, was saying he was going to go. I think he could have been a good English British champion down there. So I mean, it's a shame he has retired. Um, Chris Borg, I mean, he's 29 now, so he ain't young, but I mean, like he can rebuild, he can come back. I don't know where he'll go because I don't feel that bantamweight is his division. I feel super bantam is better at.
Mm.
Um, but you got some really good kids down there, so it's very hard to for Chris Borg to be able to win some British titles down there. So up there. So but my advice would be, look, man. I mean, like you just lost the fight. That's it, man. A fight's just a fight. You can't win them all. Just get back on the horse, get back to learning, get back to trying to improve, and come back again. Like come and box again, man. I mean, like you know, It's boxing. It's
Mm,
like football. I mean, if every time Arsenal lost a game, they give up. I mean, you'd have no football teams left, would you? You know. So I mean, like just get back on the horse, get back in the gym, practice, learn, improve, and then build yourself back up. You know, if I can do it, anyone can do it.
mhm. No, it's great advice, and I suppose your story in general, it's now had a lot of light on it now, which is amazing to see. And when you are on these big stages, is it important for you to, I suppose, to an extent, share your story, but share how you've managed to come from your position to where you are now?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I quite enjoy sharing my story because you know I used to look at my life and my story as like I used to look myself as like a victim of circumstance. You know, poor me, poor this, poor that. Whereas now I look at my life with pride, just because the obstacles I've overcome. I look at it with happiness, you know, and like I mean, I enjoy telling it because I feel that my story is inspirational and it's like there's a reason why I'm in the position I'm in, being able to tell my story. And I think I believe that's to like inspire people to be able to do something with their lives or to get out the depression or the holes that they're in. You know, so I mean, I'm quite happy telling my story. I'm very proud of it.
No, it's an amazing story, and I suppose
Thank
when you do have situations when you're in fights, and sometimes you do have to dig deep and really, show your heart. You always seem to do that, and is it because, to an extent, you have been through this story, and in your head, this fight is something which is not as hard as that situation where you once was in.
100%. Like boxing is easy compared to life. You know, I mean, the life that I have had, like, don't get me wrong, there are people who've had harder lives than me, living in real squalor, you know. I mean, they have some brutal lives, and although my life's been hard, it probably hasn't been as hard as a lot of people's, you know. I mean, some people have had it unbelievably extreme, but the life that I've had has been hard for me. And so, like, you know, nothing is as hard as life itself, like what Rocky says. So, I mean, like, you know, when the going gets tough in the ring and I need to grit my teeth and pull my pants up and get going and use my heart and determination and grit, it comes from life. And that's the easy compared to life. So I don't find it hard at all having to show my heart and gut, you know what I mean? Life really does, like, life itself pushes me in the
Mm.
backbone.
Of course. And I suppose, the last time that we spoke, I asked you how far do you believe you can go in your career? And you kind of said however far it will take me. And would you say that that still is that same message?
No, no, because I think the last time we talked, I still had a little bit of self doubt with myself
Mhm,
that I could really achieve something great.
mhm,
And now I've achieved the British title. I have this feeling of invincibility about me. I feel unstoppable. I feel like there's something special in the air. And I honestly believe I could win a European. And I honestly believe that depending who the opponent is, I could fight for and win a world title.
mhm,
Obviously, depending on opponents. So I'm
mhm.
not saying I'm a world beater. I'm not saying I'm the number one in the world and I can, beat this Nakatani and whoever. But depending on the opponent, depending on the fight, the night, the universe can work its magic and you don't know. Pick up a world strap and, you know, get anywhere. But I do honestly believe that I'm European at minimum, 100% now. And I feel that there's something special in the air. And I feel like I'm destined for greatness.
And when you speak about confidence and self-belief, is that one of the most important things in boxing?
I think it is now. Like, I've never had it before. I've always struggled. I remember having NLP with a lad before, and I remember he was talking to me about it and trying to teach me how to be confident with myself, my body language and stuff. And I was on the phone too much. I remember thinking like this ain't working because I'm not confident. You know, I mean, I've never, until the last two fights, I've never had confidence in myself. People have had confidence in me. My missus has, she's had full confidence in me to have my team, but I've never had it in myself. And now I truly believe for the last two fights, I have been confident. I look at the performances I've had. You know, I mean, stopping Jordan Perkis and then stopping Chris Borg, there's two big statements I've made. And I honestly believe that the confidence up here and the heart in here, I think they're a big, big part of that.
Mhm. No, I completely agree, and I suppose, like you mentioned, European level is the level which you want to go on to next, and Asomba is the champion. He's had a similar career-wise story to you, and do you feel like naturally that is a crossroads type fight?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a crossroads fight, you know, because whoever loses that can easily rebuild. But I mean, then again, I think Asomba's 36 or something. So, you know, if he loses that, it might be retirement for him. I'm not sure. For me, I'm 33 and I still feel fresh.
Mm.
I feel like I'm coming in my prime. So if that was the loss that I took in that fight, I just come back and I'd go on the road again and I'd beat some more prospects up. You know, I mean, that's just the way it is. But you know, the European is definitely a natural next step. But you know, I know that we've been offered other fights as well, and so I'm not going to talk about them because I can't. I don't know what's going to come to the forefront. But all I can say is I'm very excited, and we're going to see some new straps coming this way.
No, I love this fighting talk, and I suppose given the what you've been saying, within the next year, where would you like to see yourself?
Where would I like to see myself, or where do I think I will be see
Oh.
myself?
Where do you think you will be?
World champion.
Mhm. Yeah, amazing. No,
There's nothing more to say. Nothing more to say to that. I know the talks have been happening behind closed doors, and I believe I'll be world champion within the next 12 months. Next 12 months. It
and
may not happen, but if you don't aim for the stars, you'll never hit the moon, will you?
mhm,
And I honestly believe I'll be world champion.
mhm. No, it's amazing. That's all I can really say in response to that, to be honest, mate. And I really do appreciate your time. And I'll ask this final question, which is just in general for this support, like you've mentioned, and you've been mentioning how good it's been. What would you like to say to them?
For people that have supported me, thank you.
Mhm.
That's it. Just thank you to everybody, my missus, my team, my sponsors, everybody who's tuned in, everybody who sent the message, um, everyone who's interviewed me, showed me love in some sort of way and support. Thank you. It means a lot. It means the world. Keep an eye on my journey because there's plenty more beautiful nights to come. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it.
Amazing, Nash. It's been an absolute pleasure as always, mate. And I wish you the best of luck within the next, 2 to 3 fights. Hopefully, we'll be able to catch up again if you built for it.
100%. I love it.
Amazing.
Thank you, Axel.
Thank you. And so, if you're on your round here and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like video if you did indeed like video, and thanks for watching.